the Emperor!
Hello War Games, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and today I'm going to do another video in the Dark Angels week, and it is going to be a quick look at tactics. Basically how I think I'm going to play my Dark Angels, a couple of ways to play them I suppose, and then in the next video, the next tactical video, we're going to look at two 1500 point lists, one of which is the one that I'm going to build, and then a possibly slightly more elite one that I'm looking at doing, so we'll take a look at those in a bit, but first, a general tactic overview. From my first impressions of the Codex, I think Ravenwing is strong. Deathwing are possibly not that strong, and then you've got your standard Space Marine stuff. I think the way I'll be playing my Dark Angels, first of all, I like multiple small units. After having really looked into that, I know I say it a lot now, but I really enjoy how they play. So I'm going to be combat squadding 20 Marine, so 4 lots of 5. Sergeant with a plasma pistol, and then regular Marine with a plasma gun. And so you'll have a plasma in each. What this does is it gives the target priority, like the person who is looking at this and saying, okay, what do I need to kill? Your opponent, right? He's looking at your units, and you've got 4 units, all the same points cost, all the same threat level. So, I mean, obviously the plasma gun might be more threatening, but then you're thinking, well, if the sergeant gets in combat, that's another attack, and all these good things. So, you try and make all your targets as, targetable as each other. So all of them have the same stuff. What this means is your opponent's forced to make a decision. So do they go, right, I'll just take all of the squads down to 3 men, or will I take out one whole squad and half of another, or forcing your opponent to make choices, which is always good because then they're more likely to make a mistake. It's on them, if you like. So I'll definitely be taking multiple small units, mostly bolters with a plasma gun. No heavy weapons in there. And I'll probably take a couple of transports for mobility. Can't hurt to have that, right? So that's probably the base of my army. It's going to be tactical marines and shooting, because I had to think about it this morning actually. If you look at a standard Space Marine tactical marine, so a Dark Angel tactical marine for example, okay, he has a rapid fire bolt gun. So let's say he's within 7 inches of an opponent. Now, for argument's sake, let's just say it's another Space Marine or a Chaos Space Marine. He hits on 3s with his bolt gun, so that's better than getting into combat and hitting on 4s. He wounds on 4s, obviously, and that's no different in combat. But already you could have missed one more. So the fact that you're shooting, you get to hit on a dice roll less, so that's a big difference. Now, a standard tactical marine has 1 attack, 2 on the charge. So if we sit at 7 inches with a full 10-man squad and rapid fire, you get more hits and more wounds. You're forcing more saves. If you charge into combat, okay, there's always the thing, you could fail it. You could not make it. You still get overwatched. So they could still take a marine away from you, and that's points you wouldn't have lost if you just shot, and you're giving them a chance to attack you on your turn. So why not rapid fire, see how many you can take out. The other thing is, if you've got a plasma gun, you can't use that if you're going to charge. Why pay for the points? You might as well just rapid fire the plasma gun, take out two Chaos Space Marines. So my way of thinking with Dark Angels, and possibly Space Marines in general, is going to be move and shoot. I wouldn't get into assault unless it was, okay, let's look at that unit over there, terrible in the assault, because Space Marines are okay, terrible in the assault, pretty weak, let's go over there, see if we can, but let's say they're a shooter unit, then you can go and do it. But if you're playing tactics, I would probably avoid just rushing into combats. That's something I've learned. I play a friend of mine who has Tau, and I played him quite a few times now, and every time I'm like, advance, 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 just push up the board, get him into combat, see what I can do. And I've realised now that is a terrible idea, because by the time I get there, everything's shot to pieces. I want no impact. So what I'm really going to do next time is focus on mobility of units, picking up objective points that are easier to get, and so we're going to see how that goes next time. But yeah, the important thing I think is to move and shoot. That's how I'm going to play my Tactical Marines. Same for Raven Wing. So looking at bringing them into the list. So you've got your 20 Tactical Marines as a base. Then I would bring in some Raven Wing for mobility, your 12-inch movement, rerollable jinx saves, hit and run, outflank. So you can do lots of things with those. It gives you, they have a lot of utility, so it gives you choices. So you can say, okay, I've got one with a melter gun, and they have a tank over there in the corner. Might as well outflank. Outflank, hopefully pop the tank, and then you can jink a little, obviously, and it's rerollable, so you get 2 shots at a 4 up, and if there's night fighting, 2 shots at 3 up, you know. So, and there are other ways you can bolster that if you like. So I think having Raven Wing in there is good. I think 2 3-man squads is probably the best way to do it. Weapons loadout is completely down to you. I'll probably be sticking with Plasma because that's what comes in the Dark Vengeance set. I know Plasma has a few disadvantages, like not as high strength as you possibly want it, but it's so anti-infantry, it's ridiculous. I was playing on a simulator with a friend of mine, and I took out 3 of his honor guard with a plasma pistol and a rapid fire plasma gun. And that's obviously not statistical, but it killed 3 honor guard, and that was ridiculous. So I would say Plasma has its place, but it's just because it's what it's modelled with, and I don't like not doing what you see is what you get. So that's that. And then when it comes to Deathwing, now my army build is obviously very different to what I'm about to say is a good idea. I would avoid using too much Deathwing. My reason for this is you're focusing on the shooting phase. Now, 5 Terminators have the same shooting output as 5 Tactical Marines. Now, if you think about that for a second, it's you're paying 225 points, or maybe 200 points base. Okay, so we won't give them upgrades for something that 70 points can do, or if not 70, then 84, because obviously you've got the sergeant in there. So if you look at it like that, if you're looking at playing the shooting phase, I would avoid taking Terminators, only because you're paying more points, so many more points, more than about triple the points, for what is effectively the same as, you know, 70 points to 200 points. You can take more 70-point things. So I would avoid using them. If you're playing a purely tactical standpoint, I would go Green Wing, Raven Wing, and then maybe some Deathwing Knights if you wanted to have an assault unit. But then you've got to get them there. So I would say you need a Land Raider. So automatically this thing has now become 400 and well, near enough 500 points. Okay, like a 5-man squad in a. I mean, that's a lot of points in your army. Think about what else you can get. This is what I always do. If I'm going to pick something, I then look at the alternatives for the same points cost. So I would possibly avoid taking them. Obviously, when you look at my 1500 point list in the next tactical video, you'll notice that I have ignored my own advice, but that's only because I don't really care for the super in-depth tactical stuff. I want to play models that I find fun, and I find Terminators fun. I think they look awesome, especially the Deathwing in particular, because that bone look is so cool. So I'll be looking at taking it. In fact, I think I've got 3 squads, so completely ignore what I say in that respect. But I would say Green Wing, Raven Wing, and then if you want some Deathwing, just 1 squad. Sticking with transports and infantry. I would also say get a flyer, get the Nephilim jet fighter. That gives you tactical flexibility, and it's pretty strong. It can take out a lot of things, so I would definitely get that. So it's the move and shoot is what I'm saying in this video. It's try and avoid combat, not avoid as in run away, but when you're making your tactical decision, say how can I leverage the shooting phase, and then you pour your efforts into the shooting phase. So now that I've just gone over that, we're going to go into a different video, either tomorrow or the day after, looking at 2 lists. One which really looks at this way of playing them, and then my own 1500 point list, which is incredibly different. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below to let me know what you thought of this premise, this shooting idea. Like, I have explained why, so I'm hoping that helps. And let me know if there's anything you want to see from the channel, and if you want me to do any other themed weeks, then leave a comment below to let me know what you think my next theme should be. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, have fun.